Former President Donald Trump put on an apron today to pull off a political stunt in Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
So you want to give it a try?
I do.
Working the fryer to try and claim without any evidence that Vice President Kamala Harris didn't work at a McDonald's while in college, as she said she did.
She never worked at McDonald's.
At a rally in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, near Pittsburgh Saturday, Trump issued some of his harshest insults of Harris yet.
You're a vice president. The worst. You're the worst vice president.
And the fact that these people are accusing him of a stage-managed thing, of course the president has to have security because there have been 2 attempts on his life in the last 8 weeks. He can't just walk into a McDonald's and sign a W-9 and actually go on the payroll. That's just not how this works, especially given the security threats on his life. But look, he was interacting with people. He was talking to the employees. He was giving people food. And he was just being, I think, what he does best, which is just being among the people, talking to them about what they care about. He showed, I think, genuine interest in the employees and their lives and where they came from and what they were actually doing in their job. And that's something you can't stage and you can't fake. That is just the genuine person that Donald Trump is. And it's why I think a lot of working people, even though, of course, he's a successful real estate billionaire, have this emotional connection to Donald Trump. You can't make up that kind of connection. Unfortunately, Kamala Harris has tried and failed. And I think it's why her campaign is flailing a little bit right now, is because she goes into Sheets and does 4 takes of her buying Doritos. Donald Trump just goes into McDonald's and he is who he is, and people love him.
Great take.
That's a great take. She did do 4 takes of buying Dorito. Like, damn.
They said they scared of JD.
I thought it was 2.
I don't
It was
know.
no big bag.
More than 1. I don't understand why you got to do all that just to buy a pack of damn Doritos. I bought a bag of Doritos yesterday. It took me 1 try.
Don't touch my mama or my Doritos.
I'm pretty sure, Trump won the looking or being a regular American. I guess he passed like that vibe check over Kamala easily.
Everyone acting like it's crazy that they shut down the McDonald's because Trump was there. Like, well, if people knew that Trump was at McDonald's, you don't think they would swarm the premises?
They were talking about that?
Yes. People are mad. Oh, they closed the McDonald's down for Trump to be there. Well, no shit. This guy had 2 assassination attempts on his life. And y'all mad that they taking extra precautions to make sure he's safe and can have a cool day at McDonald's. Yeah. So everybody and their mom would have been in that McDonald's trying to get some fries.
They couldn't go get some nuggets.
I don't understand why everybody
with your fat ass.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Whoa.
Not whoa. Stop being fat.
These politicians try to make it seem like
it.
they're not out of touch elitists. So if we did Kamala versus Trump on this, look like Trump won this because Americans love him. I mean, this people
has more charisma.
Homeless people on the street say Trump.
He has more charisma when he's among the people. Kamala she looks like an actress.
To women, who you think still gonna win?
We know why. I mean, they just see a woman and they say she's powerful, brother. So I mean, we know why they saying it, but Kamala looks like an out of touch elitist from her whole campaign. I'm gonna be real.
Brilliant strategic move, and he had fun doing it, and clearly the people loved it, Natasha.
Josh, do you agree? A brilliant strategic move, because meanwhile, we do see Trump saying Harris never worked there, the Harris campaign having to defend that. What do you make of this back and forth?
I agree, I do. And if Democrats can't be honest, even when we may detest our opponent, then it's going to be counterproductive for us as a party. It was genius. He took what is such an infinitesimal attack that she never worked at McDonald's. It wouldn't even make the radar in a senior class president campaign, let alone a presidential campaign. And he turns it into another news cycle that he dominates. And quite frankly, it shows his ability to do retail. And I think it should spur the Harris campaign in these last 16 days to do alternative media, to take back, really the narrative and to do shows like Joe Rogan, to do a chicken shop date and utilizing that alternative media, because if Trump continues to dominate the media dialogue for the next 16 days, it's not going to be good for us on election day.
Damn, he says it's not going to be good for us. These Democrats saying that.
And he said that Trump came and dominated, so basically you're admitting that he has more charisma. The people like him more.
Duh, because this is not scripted. He pulled up, it was just him.
It looked like
you're a good worker,
you're
a good employee. You need her. She's slide on the product. That's what you need.
So you're stingy with the product. You're stingy, aren't you? We need you. You're a good employee. She said, "Oh," she did too.
He's so funny, bro.
But
Joe, who think actually funnier though, him or Joe, bro? Because Joe is hilarious.
I know
Joe is funny
Biden
too.
be funny.
Joe is
But
hilarious.
Joe's
Like,
funny now.
He is
Joe
more
Biden is like a
charisma funny.
clueless old
It's funny
person.
now because Joe isn't the president. Well, he is the president, but you know what I mean. Not the next one. So it's actually just funny to laugh at him, and it's
that shit's hilarious.
Like I
No,
would
Joe's
just be
funny,
thinking
bro.
about the shit Joe do without me.
No.
He's
Joe
just
is
an
actually
incompetent
funny
old
for real.
person.
He was falling asleep on the stage.
Because you can't
Yeah,
believe he's doing
I
it.
find Joe Biden a little annoying.
He
Actually.
hit the.
But he's funny sometimes.
Remember he walked off whenever they were at that place. He just wandered off. He didn't
At
know
the-
where he
at
was.
the,
They said.
They said, "Oh no, he was saying hi to someone over there." I said, "There's no way y'all are really doing this for real."
Deep fakes. They're deep fakes. You remember that?
Yeah.
Wow.
The man
Y'all
AI
went from
video.
their deep fakes to now Trump's too old.
They went to a lot. They
If you
went to
said
a
that,
lot.
then you better shut your ass up.
Back to when the world knew Trump simply as a real estate mogul and a New York City tabloid fixture.
A big and tasty for just
That's what you was talking about?
How do you do it? What's your secret?
Grimace.
Together, Grimace, we could own this town.
Now Trump is stepping behind the counter at McDonald's, this time for a campaign stop in the battleground state of Pennsylvania.
I'm looking for a job, and I've always wanted to work at McDonald's, but I never did. I'm running against somebody that said she did, but it turned out to be a totally phony story. So if you don't mind, I want to work the French fry counter.
So Trump there once again claiming without evidence that Kamala Harris never worked at McDonald's in the 80s. That dispute inspiring this campaign stop over the weekend. Trump, of course, no stranger to the Golden Arches, his love for fast food well documented. In 2019, Trump hosted Clemson's football team after they won the national championship and served up this spread of French fries and burgers at the White House. And during his Sunday visit to McDonald's, Trump again put on the apron. He manned the fry station. He handed out food through the drive-thru window to customers who, according to the Washington Post, were pre-screened by the Secret Service. The restaurant was closed to the public for the event.
Well, that makes sense.
I love salt. Wait a minute, I spilled some. I'm very superstitious.
Our panel has returned. So I have to say, when I first saw that image of Trump kind of hanging out the drive-thru window, a part of me thought, wow, is that real? I never thought he would do something like that. The Trump that we saw in 1999 in that old ad is the one that was much more familiar to me. Like, look, we're going to run this town, right? Like someone who owns a McDonald's, not someone who works in one. I mean, clearly they have a strategy to try to appeal to working class voters, try to, twist the knife on Harris. But I still found these images to be jarring.
Well, part of what is so striking about them is that he's not trying to not be Donald Trump. Like some politicians go and they try to dress up as somebody they're not. He's still got the red tie. He's still so clearly himself. And I think this was an unbelievably smart move because one thing that has differentiated Donald Trump from other really wealthy politicians is that he has never been seen as the aloof, the billionaire who would never deign to hang out with the commoners. Like, he has always sort of portrayed himself as, I'm the rich guy who doesn't really like the other rich guys. I'm one of you. And this is part of this. I think this was insanely smart.
Well, to that point, it is part of a larger effort on the Trump campaign to sort of soften Donald Trump's image. It's why you've seen his grandkids sort of appearing at the rally and also spoke at the RNC. There's a larger effort going on by the Trump campaign to appeal to some of those suburban women that he's currently losing.
The most humanizing moment in that clip was when he threw the salt over his shoulder. It was like such a normal reaction that anyone who's like, oh, like we all do that when you're cooking or whatever. And so that was the most like normalizing and humanizing moment, I think, in this clip. But to your point, like he still has his shirt on, his tie on. Like most politicians would have showed up in like a collared shirt or something that said McDonald's and tried to like more fit in. I did find it striking that the whole restaurant was shut down and it was just sort of like a staged event. But I do think it is definitely like poking at the vice president.
I will also say, though, him showing up with Grimace in that old ad, I bet that gets some more traction because Grimace is like a thing with Gen Z. Like,
is he?
Yes, it's
all
a thing.
The TikTokers,
It's a thing.
Right. Oh, so you guys are cool.
Old ad, I bet that gets some more traction because Grimace is like a thing. With Gen Z. Like,
is he?
Yes, it's
all
a thing.
The TikTokers,
It's a thing.
Oh, so you guys are cooler than me. I
I've just read about
idea.
it. I'm not even
talking about the shake.
Yeah. The grimace is a thing with Gen Z and below her. That's like a run-on joke.
See,
the grimace shake.
The liberal media might backpedal, and then they're gonna be their excuse. I mean, JD didn't like you. They can use that excuse. Say, hey, don't fire me, Trump. I mean, they can't get fired. But I'm just saying, they could just be like, Trump, they can say, look what I said, Trump. I mean, JD said that at first. I start liking you, Trump. I think they're going to try to backpedal, bro. But, I mean, maybe not all of them.
Well, when
Definitely
Trump was elected last time, they didn't backpedal. They kept stabbing and stabbing and stabbing.
Well, we going to see. We going to see.
CNN is less biased than MSNBC, I'm here to tell you today.
But this
I've been
is a different
said that.
panel, too, though.
Yeah,
CNN tries to.
But at time, and they give Scott, and they a real Republican on there. You know,
they
not like a
heavily
fake
lean
one.
left.
Because you know, if The View got a fake Republican, they got an actual person who actually, you know,
They got a couple.
who.
Shermichael. They got a couple.
Yeah, so it's like, you know,
and they bring on panelists from the outside, and they let them speak their mind.
and they brought on, bro, Mr. Wonderful,
Kevin.
Yeah,
But the host right here be talking crazy about Trump and JD, though.
Who, the one with the
I'm
bar?
sure. With the tan
The
jacket.
tan, yeah, Miss
I
Beige.
don't really rock with
You
her.
know, I don't like all that fake stuff, wishy-washy stuff, man. I mean, see, that say something about Trump, though.
wishy-washy.
He's that good where he got her to switch up like that. That's real charisma right there.
That's a banger right there.
They don't know about that.
They don't, man.
Oh, he fell on The View.
So you're out hunting pheasants.
Yep.
Is that enough to convince people there's a middle ground on this issue? Because right now, right wingers are coming after you for how you handled your shotgun.
He was unloading it.
Well, I can shoot better than all of them. I guarantee it. I got the trophies to prove it.
What do you say about the
That is the
perception
poll,
the opponent
right? That's
that the
a poll.
economy is doing poorly, and what?
Yeah.
And what do you say to these Americans who feel like they're struggling?
Yeah, well, if they're saying they are, they are. And I think for all of us of prices being out there, I think that's why Vice President Harris has made it very clear that that is a top priority, whether it's focusing on home ownership, which we know these proposals work. If you do things with down payment assistance and you create 3 million more homes, we were able to do it on a state level in Minnesota. Now Minneapolis has 12% more homes and rents went down 4% last year. This can work on a national level. And then this idea of price gouging and price fixing. 37 states already have this in play. You saw when there's a hurricane in Florida, airline tickets shot through the roof. That's not capitalism. That's price gouging. And I think then focusing on the tax cuts going to them. And it's important for us to talk about what Donald Trump is going to do, because he did keep a promise his first term. He cut taxes for the wealthiest. He drove up the debt to numbers we haven't seen. And this time he's coming after things like Social Security and Medicare, calling them Ponzi scheme that won't work. So I think the message has to go to talk to people. I think it's connecting, as I say. Vice President Harris and I grew up middle class. We understand that. She actually worked in a McDonald's. She didn't go and pander and disrespect McDonald's workers by standing there in your red tie and take a picture. His policies are the ones that undermine those very workers that were in that McDonald's, whether it's home ownership, health care, reproductive rights, or cost of products. So there's more work to be done. But just to be very clear, nothing Donald Trump is proposing does anything about the middle class. And every economist, Moody's themselves, talked about what it would do to drive up inflation, potentially leading us to recession. So there's more work to be done. We acknowledge that. I think the vice president's proposals are real. They make a difference, and we need to continue that.
Well, one of the things.
So the millionaire, billionaire thing that they say is debunked. Patrick McDavid did a study, and he found all the billionaires that like publicly support each side, and there's like way more billionaires that support Kamala than support Trump. So if it's gonna help the billionaires to support Trump, why aren't they supporting Trump? Boom.
We've been debunked that shit, bro. Like that's why she got
But
more
but that's hard evidence.
They kept the same tax cuts.
Hard evidence. Why are there more
they got more
billionaires?
campaign money. She got more money behind her.
There are more billionaires. Hold on. Can we look up the number real quick?
Like it's more money
Goldman
behind her.
Sachs,
I mean,
or
easy.
is funding like sponsoring her
So
campaign.
Tim, what was more disrespectful, the McDonald's joke or not? Yeah, it was a joke, or you doing stolen valor, Tim Walz.
A lot about going to war.
But who felt more disrespected, the McDonald's workers or the men that you sitting out there by themselves? Come on, man, that was crazy, bro. I can't believe he just said they disrespected. Nigga, you disrespected the country. I mean, I go, okay, all right, you served a little time, but you disrespected the country.
The people who was really staying in that chopper.
And then you say you standing out here bragging like you did. I shoot better than all of them.
I just don't think Tim Walz is charismatic enough to win Kamala the vote. I don't think he's winning any votes. I think he's an extreme liberal the same way she is, but he is definitely more open about it, and he's just her biggest cheerleader. So therefore, for that reason, I just don't really see how he's helping the campaign in any way.
His ass out there shooting glitter and bath bombs, colorful.
Bro, he looks so old. How is him and Brad Pitt the same age? Brad Pitt look like he's 40. This guy looks like he's 70. Come on, dog. Take better care of yourself.
I can't find him.
Take better care of yourself.
But it's a fact.
Yeah, it's all, I mean, hey, come on, man.
It's not an opinion, it's a fact.
No, we already know this, for sure. For sure.
I'll find it.
Governor, voters are saying change is a critical issue this election. But our ABC poll shows only a third of Americans believe a Harris-Walz ticket would bring that change. I want to pose a similar question to you that we asked Vice President Harris. Can you point to a policy decision over the last 4 years that you and the Vice President would have handled differently from President Biden?
Well, I think this expansion on Medicare is something that I wished would have been proposed sooner. But look, they're tackling the issues that they needed to. They came out of a pandemic that Donald Trump had left a mess for, an economy with supply chains that were broken. But I think focusing on this care economy, the two things that the Vice President proposed that I hear everywhere, especially in rural America, is this issue of affordability on child care and the ability of seniors to get health care, protecting that. So I think just in this last week, you saw a major rollout in protecting rural hospitals. This is a big issue. We have ambulance deserts in large parts of America, Minnesota included, where you can't do that. And I think she's really leaning into these issues that impact people personally and then doubling down on whether it's housing or child tax credit. Those are pretty big differences. And I don't think that's a pejorative towards it. There were other issues that were being dealt with, and she's her own leader. She's got her own path, a new way forward. And I think she sees in Minnesota that we have similar values, whether it's providing kids with meals at school. You know, we're putting meals in our schools and trying to get guns out of them. That seems like a good thing, and that's what she's doing.
Yeah, shut up, Tim Walz. But Democrats talk about this shit every year.
I will say,
every election,
I will say, Tim Walz is a much better communicator than she is.
Oh, yeah, he's better than her. He's better
Look
than
at the way
her.
he didn't give a script answer. He went and spit.
I mean, he kind of did answer the
He
question.
answered it more than
He
she
answered
did.
it way better than she would have.
Medicare and whatever else he said, but guess
Medicare
what?
was the answer.
They said, what would you have done differently? He said, I would have proposed this thing sooner, is what he said. That's kind of an answer there. Then
But Democrats propose that shit every election, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not giving an answer because Joe Biden said that shit last time.
I'll keep it 100.
Well, at least it's something.
I'll keep it 100.
She gonna say I grew up a middle class kid.
We don't want the same shit, though. That's why they keep asking them the question.
That's why they ain't gonna win. But at least he answered the question. But they ain't gonna win.
What did she say?
It wasn't a great answer, but it was an answer.
Did she say 1/3 of
An
Democrats?
answer is better than no answer.
Or 1/3 of America?
For what?
When she said 1/3 of America don't like, they think that they need a different,
new direction.
New direction. Was that Democrats or America?
No. America. And it's more than that. I see more than that. That's low. That's 33%. People say 60%, 70%. Maybe it's only 1/3 think that we don't need to go.
Yeah, that's why they're losing, bro. Because actually can't keep coming up here with the Medicare shit, bro. My mom was talking. That's just all she talks about with the Democrats.
Medicare is going to raise taxes for the middle class.
So therefore, he's saying they're not going to do anything different. If you keep saying Medicare,
that's why Trump up 10 points. That's why Trump is up 10 points.
That's why when anytime they can't answer a question, we solved Medicare. When Joe Biden was getting sleepy on the stage, and they said, "Well, Joe, what did we finally solved Medicare." That is their literal. That is, I think that's their biggest. I think W that they think they have. You're not saying you're gonna do anything different. That's the thing, though, guys. So if you want different,
don't do that.
you can't vote this.
Vote different. You want different, you gotta vote different.
Simply is what it is. That's what they say, right, guys. We gone.